high maintenance, so I'm not gonna tiptoe around your marriage or whatever it is you got going there. If you want to be with me, you're with me.
Okay.
Too many guys think I'm a concept, or I complete them, or I'm gonna make them alive. But I'm just a fucked up girl who's looking for my own peace of mind. Don't assign me yours.
I remember that speech really well.
I had you pegged, didn't I?
Yeah, the whole human race pegged.
Probably.
I still thought you were going to save my life, even after that.
I know.
It would be different if we could just give it another go-round.
Remember me. Try your best. Maybe we can.
Hi, my name's Rebecca Martin, and I'm the organizer of the Chicago Film Lover Exchange. Today we're talking about Michel Gondry's Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, starring Jim Carrey as Joel Barish and Kate Winslet as Clementine Krasinski. And we're gonna, for part two, this is the second part, we're gonna talk about why we all relate to their relationship so much, why we root for them so much. And also, the second part to it is why the other supporting cast, their role in bringing the twist ending that we see between them. All right, let's start with you, Anna. What are your thoughts?
I feel like for the two characters, for the couple, I think we can relate for them and root for them so much because they're the perfect depiction of the couple, right? I feel like, and everything is brought to the screen with such brilliancy, like they put it over there, everything that it's in between the lines, all the mental fights and the emotional fights that happen in a relationship, it's everything shown over there, it's everything portrayed on the screen, and it's so beautiful. I think that all the moments of vulnerability, you know, like anytime you talk about the characters, there's no way for you to not relate to them because it's all the vulnerable moments you had in a relationship, they're there. They're just like so beautifully, you know, portrayed by, you know, by the two characters. And that's why I feel like Clementine and Joe are just so perfect, you know, as far as a couple.
And their relationship is like, through the dream part, we get to see why they love each other so much. Like in the beginning, obviously they're in a bad place, but then you see how it all started and where that love is, and that's where I feel like a lot of us can identify with that emotion, that strong emotion.
I agree because it was shown backwards. The reason they came to Lacuna to erase their memory is that, you know, they're after breakup, they're upset about each other, and that's how our memory works. It's like we remember very first, you know, the bad moments, why we want to erase the other person because like, you know, the other person is lousy basically. But as we kind of goes into the story and as the characters themselves, well, Joe himself digs deeper into his memory, he discovered these earlier memories in terms of timeline, but in terms of the memories of kind of a deeper layer memory that he actually, you know, loves this woman. And that's why we as audience kind of go through this backward journey that, you know, kind of brings us back to the original moment. And that's how it was powerful because we see the kind of the later complications, but also we, you know, as time goes on, we follow them onwards into this journey, and although it's backward, but it's like, you know, like we root for them because we've been with them so long, and we see the initial magic kind of happening backwards.
Yeah, and I feel like it's kind of like a fight, you know, like between science and romance at the same time, because when you see them, you know, saying to themselves like, oh yes, I can solve all my problems through Lacuna. Lacuna is just gonna, like erase all, like all the bad moments I had, and then as soon as he goes through the process, he discovers something else. He discovers a love. He discovers how everything started, and he goes into this battle about like, how can I save her?
Right.
And he tries, like, it's the whole romance, try to fight, like the science, try to fight Lacuna and try to put it down. I think that's the beauty about the whole thing.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I would say that one of the reasons why the film resonates so strongly with so many people, and myself included, is that I think that Kaufman and Gondry are going for something bigger than the story of Joel and Clementine. I think they're talking about love and how the emotion of love, it imprints on us to such a degree that the person who causes those feelings becomes like embedded in even memories where they don't normally belong. So they become like a part of your consciousness almost. It's people describe it as like a spirituality or a thing, but I think what's unique about the film is that I would argue, Anna, that they're perfect in their imperfection.
Exactly.
Because, they both make stupid mistakes. They both have character faults. There's a lot of talk in film criticism about the manic pixie dream girl. And Clementine kind of plays with those tropes, but she definitely does not like fulfill them because as the scene we just watched shows, she's not a concept. And the fact that they underline that makes it about the way that couples interact and the way that memories kind of morph over time. So I would say that it's that universality of people changing your life and affecting you in a really profound way that makes the film so powerful.
Yeah, there's such a, it's ironic in that scene that they point out that she says, I don't want you to think that I'm going to complete you. They don't, you guys made a great point about how even together they're like a flawed unit, but they do very clearly complement each other. I think Kaufman is really, really good at evoking the spirit of this kind of feeling of awkwardness that I think that most people can feel about the idea that you're trying to find your place in the world, of a way where you fit, and how your feelings and reactions may not quite match the way the world expects you to. There's not a lot of brightness, there's mixed brightness, but not a lot of color in the particular world that these guys inhabit.
Right.
And what's really cool about Joel and Clementine is that they both have this feeling that they can share, but they approach it in different ways.
Right.
Which wrap it on themselves in a cool way too, because Joel is the internal one. He doesn't reveal anything, and he's very awkward in all of his reactions as a result. But internally, and he has a journal, and he keeps that private. It's what you have to dig in really, really late into the movie to discover. But Clementine tries to respond in the opposite way. Every moment where she can try to seize that opportunity, she'll go and try to change it. He's constantly altering things to try and find something where it works for her at that moment.
Right.
And both those kind of personalities both complement each other really, really, really well in a way that might be really similar to how Gondry and Kaufman as film creators themselves.
Yeah, something I wanted to mention based on what you just said, that whole part when they're on the train in the beginning and they use the word nice 10 times.
Yes.
And it's interesting how it starts because he's like, I was just trying to be nice. And then she's just kind of insulted.
I don't want nice, I don't need nice.
Right, right. But then she starts to say, I really, what did she say? I have a mission that...
I think she said, I like the fact that you're nice and that scares me, or something along those lines.
Right, and just that word nice is very common. People say it all the time. And it became a conversation.
Yes.
They compliment each other based on this nice talk.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
she reacts,
so,
and in the first reaction we see them, she's very much like weirded out by how nice Joel is, and in fact, all her extreme reactions. Her extreme actions are trying to maybe get an extreme reaction out of Joel, but Joel continues to like be nice and still want to be with her anyway, and that ironically is the thing that throws her off the most, I think.
Right.
Yeah, and I wanted to tie in something that Rebecca said at the beginning of this section, and that is that all of the supporting characters are like. They kind of echo and mirror in different ways the dynamic of the Joel and Clementine relationship, and you've got Howard and Mary, you've got Mary and Stan, you've got Patrick and Clementine, which is the worst of them all. You've got Rob and Carrie, played by the delightful David Cross and Jane Addams, as a kind of like another couple who are really good friends of Joel and Clementine, but are kind of brought into to Joel's suffering, and they're the ones who break it to him what has been happening with Clementine, because they're obviously in this ethical dilemma about do we share this secret, and that's kind of interesting too about how relationships affect the people around them as well.
Right. Yeah. Just. I think they were trying to convince the two friends were trying to convince Joe, and there was a little teeny tiny dialogue where I think the husband was like, kind of like claiming something of his own, and the wife's like, "It's not about you, like give me a second. This is about Joe." And that's a perfect moment where you see if Joe and Clementine were getting married, getting alive. That's a little thing that happens in life, like the little argument, the soft-centeredness.
Yes. If I remember,
daily life.
If I remember correctly, the lady in the relationship is literally carrying the dirty laundry as she tells him to. As she tells him to not. It's not about us.
Right.
But that's a great point. Yeah, they're like maybe
coincidental that her name is Carrie as well.
Yes, like Mama Carrie. She's referenced as Mama Carrie.
Yeah, because Rob says, you just want to baby him. This isn't just another problem that can be solved by Mama Carrie. Right. And then she throws the laundry at him.
There's a lot of interesting family references out there. Like in one, Patrick is referred to by the doctor at one point as baby boy. And then, of course, there's that wonderful section 2/3 of the way through where Joel's the little boy discussing his situation while eating a very large cookie.
Yes.
There's an earlier one where he's in he's being bathed in the sink.
Yes.
And Clementine's there with him.
Right, which changes from. I just want to add that it changes from him like bathing and being pleasant in the water, and then he's literally drowning once Clementine disappears. But
yeah, I think it's. We see it again, like the same when Jeff was talking about the collaboration between, the director and the writer, and how nothing is over there by chance. Like they don't. There's nothing that goes over there by chance. I feel like the same thing with the depiction of this universal couple, and how everything is over there just to show you it's so much like life, it's so, we're talking about dreams, we're talking about something that it's so, it's so untouchable, it's not so solid, it's not, but it's so much about life. And I think that's where, the brilliancy of, Eternal Sunshine lies. It's so beautiful in that sense.
Right.
Yeah, and I think another thing, and I just thought of this when you were talking, Anna, is that there's an aspect of the film that says that, I don't want to say that it's about true love, but that about people you love, you can't erase them. Right. And I think it's echoed in earlier scenes where we see how. It's not a spoiler alert to tell people that Mary had a relationship with Dr. Mierzwiak, and she went through the procedure. But the procedure is such a failure that her feelings for him keep coming back. They keep coming back. And that scene where she's in the apartment with Stan and they get a little high, and then Howard's coming over. She can't even hide the fact that she's so excited to see him.
Right. That's one of the great. I'm sorry, Jeff.
No, go ahead.
I want to cut in, but that is such a core point I think the movie's doing. That to make the
It
to make
doesn't
the point,
work. Lacuna doesn't work.
Right. And why doesn't it work? I guess the way I would take it, and I don't know if you, I would love to hear what you guys think about how much it effective or if it's useful as a procedure, but it's ultimately one of the great points of Eternal Sunshine is to say our feelings are not our memories. Our memories are what we use to build our feelings, to give shape and form and structure to them. But the feelings themselves will remain even if the memories are gone.
Right.
Go ahead.
I was going to say the kind of the parallel between Howard and Mary and Joe and Clementine. They both, well, not both, but a part of the two couples erased the other person, but they somehow found each other throughout the way. And there's a little thing Clementine said with Patrick. Patrick was like, like, I really like you, you're so nice. And Clementine was like, I'm nothing from nice. Why are you using that word? That's a really little nice things about, well, I'm using nice again, but the movies that you keep, like your memory keep reminding yourself, although that memory is gone, but it's feelings, love, is kind of stays with you.
Yeah, and Patrick is so sleazy. I mean, he's playing this role that is literally like he's playing Joel, and that's what Clementine is attracted to. So, like, despite the fact that Clementine had the procedure, Joel is still a part of her, and because Patrick is using Joel's words, Joel's presence, all of Joel's memories.
Yes.
He's sort of kind of insinuating himself into her, and that's why she always feels a little out of place with him.
Right.
There's a scene before Howard comes over where Patrick calls Clementine on the phone, and he calls her Tangerine, and that triggers something in Joel, and that's when he starts to become conscious. But everything that Patrick is doing is he's pretending to be an aspect of Joel to Clementine, and it's Clementine's memories that allow her to bounce back with this Patrick guy when she's had the procedure done.
Before we end here, I wanted to talk about the ending, because that's the twist.
Right.
They listen to the tapes and they realize something's fucked up here, and they are still wanting each other, but are afraid because they've heard these tapes and they know that it could go in a negative direction. But that ending, I would say it's a twist, because they're just in the hallway and he just tells her to wait. He's like, just wait. And she wants to leave, and then she can't leave though, because she wants to stay, but she's conflicted. But then they end it with okay, and I love that. Kind of like a simple word like nice, like okay.
And I feel like there's such a moment of vulnerability in that okay. It is
Totally.
so vulnerable. It's just like, yes, I've seen your true colors. I've seen the bad and the good. I've seen the nice. I've seen, we've seen everything. And we've told each other, I don't want you in my life anymore because I want to erase you. But despite all that, okay, let's do it again. Let's try it again.
Do you guys think that they will continue to be a couple?
I would say yes.
I don't think it matters.
No. Yeah.
I think what's important is that they're giving each other an honest second try.
Right.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if it's quote unquote happily ever after, which is fake anyways, or if Joel and Clementine in the universe that they've created, spend the rest of their lives together and get married and have lots of kids. Which makes me think of the end of Raising Arizona, but that's but I think what's important is that, as you were saying, Anna, after all of the ugliness and the seeing each other in a bad light,
yes,
they're still willing to give it a shot because there's something there.
Definitely. Go ahead.
Oh, like for me, I kind of think that the odds are against them. I think fundamentally, like, and just their temperament is so different that there's accommodations that they have to make. That will that be something that can sustain over over a number of years, or would they become the dying dead? I'm not sure, but in the end, I agree with Jeff that you know. At that moment, they achieve something that very few people have in life, that they know that all the baggage that they had for each other. And they know that there's all these obstacles from each other, not something that they need to figure out that's in their way. And they decide they're going to go for it anyway. And to me, there's nothing more romantic than saying you're going to give that a shot.
Right, definitely. And as we close, I think we should all say a word that symbolizes this strong love we all feel from their relationship. And I'm sure we all can relate that we feel something with them. And so it's so hard to say a word because it's just like explosion. That's your word.
I got it.
Explosion.
Intertwined through space and time. It's all that.
That's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Can I say I'm just a fucked up girl? That line. It's not like it's an awesome line. It's like just very realistic. That would be my word.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I've mentioned that so many times, and that's the first one that comes to mind when I talk about Clementine and Joe, and it's vulnerability.
Yeah.
There's so much out there that there's no better word for me.
Right.
I'm gonna borrow a trick from Al and say a phrase, and my phrase is gonna be "meet me in Montauk," because I think it works in the literal sense in the universe of the film, but I think it also works as a kind of in a kind of metaphorical sense that, you know, when people are in love with each other, they make jumps towards each other, and they're both doing something that's maybe beyond consciousness.
So with that, I'm going to say goodbye, and I'll see you guys in part 3.
Thanks for watching, guys.